Welcome back. Bronx River Art Center is a culturally diverse, multi-arts, nonprofit organization providing a forum for the community, artists, and youth to transform creativity into vision. The BRAC is presenting its 20th annual Bronx River Sounds Performing Arts Festival, with this year's theme being Roots of Rhythms, celebrating our Caribbean diversity. Here now to tell us more is the Executive Director of the Bronx River Art Center, Gail Nathan, and the drummer of Living Color, Calhoun. Thank you so much for joining us.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
So just to start off, can you tell us a little bit more about the Bronx River Art Center and its mission to bring professional arts programming to a culturally underserved population?
You said it. Bronx River Art Center has been operating in the central Bronx, South Central Bronx, for over 40 years. We were self-incorporated for 36 years. We were part of the first Bronx River Restoration Project, using the arts to help engage community in the restoration of the river way back in the 1970s. We have since joined with the Bronx River Alliance and have been a part of that effort for the past 20 years. And as you see, the river's clean.
Yeah,
cleaner.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so with that, can you tell me a little bit about how the BRAC contributed to revitalization in the future of the West Farms community here in the Bronx?
Well, aside from helping clean up the river, we've also done an awful lot about implementing public art into the area. We've done that at the corner of West Farms Square at Boston Road and East Tremont. We've done a big installation project in Starlight Park a couple years ago. And we've done youth programs in which we've done virtual public art projects. That was very interesting, where we put up QR codes throughout the neighborhood that people could click on, and the students did the art designs, the public art imagery. So it was amazing. It's like people could click on it. So we've participated a lot in the redesign of the streets and with the urban planning department. So we're in there doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I can tell. And so coming up, you have your 20th annual Bronx River Sounds Performing Arts Festival. Can you just give me a little bit of an overview about the history of the festival and all of that?
The festival, in a smaller form, goes back 20 years. So this year is our 20th anniversary. But we did about 5 performances throughout the year for that, and then we consolidated them into June to try to have a bigger impact about 10 years ago. However, in the last 4 years, we've gotten special funding from the city through a program, city and council initiative called Coalition of Theaters of Color. And that bumped the whole thing up really great. It's a wonderful piece of funding, and it really helped us do a huge job on this. And so for the past 4 years, we've been running this 4-week series, 2 performances a weekend, and just great. And this year, I've co-produced it with various people over the 4 years, and this year I'm co-producing with Will Calhoun and Ron West, and it's been, last weekend, I'm still recovering, and this weekend, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes.
That's awesome. And so, so the theme for this year is Roots of Rhythms, celebrating our Caribbean diversity.
Yes.
Can you just discuss a little bit more about that theme and why it was chosen?
Well, the Bronx has a really wide Caribbean community in it. You have people from Haiti and Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. You have Bronx natives. So growing up in the Bronx, I'm born and raised, and I still live in the Bronx proudly now. I wanted to put together a few artists with my fellow colleagues that represent the artistic makeup and the creative makeup of the Bronx. So the concept really was to include Panama and even Brazil, right? South America, Central America, Cuba. And also Cuba and Jamaica and all of these kind of things. You know, we walk around here in this fantastic borough that I call God's country, and we eat the food from the different communities, and we listen to music from different communities, and we want to carry out and have this festival to represent what the Bronx is for us artistically.
Yeah, absolutely. And you kind of mentioned it already a little bit, but can you tell me, what are some of the Caribbean rhythms and sounds that attendees can expect?
Rhythms and sounds. Well, it's going to be all about love, first of all. You're going to hear, we had reggae, we had Cuba, you're going to hear salsa, right? You're going to be able to dance and hang out. Some music from Panama, from Brazil, and from the north of Brazil, some maracatu, maybe some forró music as well. And me being from the Bronx, you're going to hear some Bronx beats, things that originated here, which started off hip hop with a lot of influence of salsa, merengue, and other kinds of things. And one of my dear friends is from Mali, and we're actually going to have some fantastic Malian music from West Africa.
That's awesome. And Will, can you just explain a little bit about the significance of your participation in the festival and your unique music ensemble? What can the audience expect a little bit from that performance?
They should expect to be totally entertained. It's an honor for me because I'm very proud of the Bronx. I'm really proud of things that I've been able to accomplish in my career. I've lived in West Africa, I visited Cuba, I visited Puerto Rico and these places. And really, what I represent, bringing my colleagues to the table and being able to have this really awesome opportunity with BRAC to present, I think, really great, unique music for the borough and for the city of New York.
That's awesome.
So I'd like to know,
Yes.
how do you use the word futurism in the title, in the...
That's a great question
because it's an art form.
It is.
And so when I saw that, I said, what does he mean?
Well, I have it as Afrofuturism, and I'm proud to say Living Color is in the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C., in the Museum of African American Culture. We're part of that Afrofuturism exhibition. But I put that in there because I feel like our music is timeless,
Right.
in a way. It's timeless. You look at it, it's not really 60s music or 70s music or 80s music. The sound, the patterns, how we play our rhythm, solo, and the singing, all of those things to me are timeless. So it's futuristic only in the way that we take what our ancestors gave us and we create a offshoot of it for the people, your generation and younger, and folks to come to enjoy it as we enjoy it, as our parents enjoyed it. So it is the future only in that we're communicating to new audiences ancestral art.
That's so funny because I saw you mouth the word futurism, so I was gonna ask about that, and I feel like you just answered like my next 3 questions. But with that, with that style in itself, can you tell me what is some of the reception sometimes from attendees who listen to your music? Can you tell me what the reception is? Because like you mentioned, almost like an intergenerational kind of feel. So can you talk a little bit about that reception?
Yeah. Recently, people have been satisfied. I mean, I think this kind of festival is not common enough in our communities.
Right.
And it's not represented properly culturally for us. So some folks are really satisfied, some are surprised, some are really pleased that BRAC has taken this kind of initiative to put this kind of program forward, that you can get off the train on East Tremont and walk down the street and look in the window and see unbelievable art and hear incredible music, and we have some interesting food there at times as well. So the impact has been really positive, but to answer the question directly, people have been really, I would say, satisfied, relieved, impressed, and enthusiastic about what's to come for the following weekends.
And I'd like to say that what's very exciting is how the children, young kids in our youth program and our visual arts program are participating and coming to these things with their parents, and it's really wonderful to see. And at the last concert, there was a young man there. This is jazz, and we of all kinds, and the followers of jazz really go up to an older age. But what's really great is to see the young people coming and digging it, if I can use that old term, and there was a kid in the audience last week, and he was like, his head's going.
From the UK, from the UK, he was British.
You talked to him? Yeah, that's
He was
great.
a young man from
and
London.
that's just an example. I don't even know if he was in our program, but he found out about it. But in many situations, we have our young kids coming into the performances, and it's great to see.
That's awesome, and what this organization is doing is absolutely amazing. So I want to thank you both for speaking with us today.
Are you coming to any of the shows? This is my question before we close out the show.
It's funny. I actually might be coming tomorrow to cover it for a package.
Very excited.
Look at that.
about
It's already
that.
on the calendar. We already got it going.
I'm feeling better already. Fantastic. That's great.
Cool.
That's
Thank
great.
you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For more information, you can visit the website at bronxriverart.org and follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Bronx River Art Center. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Open right after this.